This is Seahawks Stories, 50th Season Edition, presented by Emerald City Athletics.
Seahawks Stories 50th Season Edition is presented by Emerald City Athletics. Joining me now, Chris Matthews, and the game that we have to talk about, the game that you want to talk about, it's the NFC Championship game against the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Because that's the game you must be talking about most often in your career.
Absolutely. Every time I look up, they're like, man, you're the reason why the Seahawks went to the Super Bowl. And I'm like, I don't know, but yeah, I played a part. I'll just say that. I played a part.
Okay, so I've never asked you this. So we've had many conversations in the locker room, and always a favorite. But that game, I've never once asked you how the ball bounced, what your responsibility was, what you thought was going to happen, and what actually happened in that game.
Yeah, that's a loaded question. I would say for me, I was nervous as I don't know what, all right? It was a big game. They were saying, we need this ball. And my whole thought process was, I need to get my man. If I could just get my man and take him out, I know Kam will do everything else that's behind us, right? And as we were going and the ball was kicked, I was late. I'm sure you've heard that before. I was late off the line because I was, again, like I said, I was nervous. And once I got to my man, I seen him jumping up for the ball. And I'm like, oh, I got to hit him. That's what I was thinking in my head afterwards. I was like, I got to hit him. I got to get a good hit. And then the ball just plopped out of his arms. I'm like, what's going on? I just reached up for the ball, and after I caught the ball, I was ready to go.
When you practice that, what do you practice the ball doing? Because it's not popping up in the air. What do you practice for?
Well, what I practiced for was going to go get my man. Or the line is supposed to take the front guys out, and then we let Kam Chancellor go in the back and take the ball away, right? He's the strongest, the fastest that we had right there at that time. So, you know, he was the chosen one.
Okay, to have Kam, and quite honestly, any of those starters who wanted to play special teams.
We all did.
Yeah, but that changes the dynamic of special teams when you have starters like Kam.
For sure.
And also, like, all of those guys, Doug, Jermaine, they all wanted to play special teams, right?
Yes.
How does that change meetings with special teams?
Well, I would say it's very important. It was something that we took very serious. And of course, I was always thinking about how can I get on the field? How can I play on offense? There was just so much that was going on in my mind. And I remember Jermaine and Doug, they both came to me and it was like, listen, bro, like you have to play special teams. That's the way you're going to get on to the offense. I'm like, okay. And then after he said that, I went back and I started sitting down and watching film with Coach Sanders and all of the guys. And they used to show me all the clips of Doug Baldwin blocking punts, Jermaine returning kicks. It was so much that was going on. Ricardo Lockett.
Tyler wanted to be the return guy.
Tyler wanted to be the return guy.
Yeah, the gunner.
It was so much that was going on. I was like, well, how am I any better than any of these guys, right? So I was like, I want to do exactly what it took to get on the field, and then it worked out for me.
So you win that game. That was a freaking awesome game. I remember being on the sidelines talking to one of our PR guys being like, it doesn't matter. We didn't need to go back to the Super Bowl. Like, we don't need to go to Arizona. And then we because we're trying to like make ourselves feel better.
Right.
In the fourth quarter. And then this comeback happens and we're like, let's freaking go. Right. Like we're going.
It's another level now.
Right. The intensity between winning the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. The game itself, not the outcome, the game itself. How would you describe that?
I would say it was relaxed, to be real with you. Because Pete Carroll, he was a big proponent on practice like the way you would play, right? So we wanted to practice like champions. We wanted to play like champions, so we practiced that way. So everything that we did, it was full speed, it was competition. We may not have been going out there knocking people out or anything like that, but it was definitely a competition to get out there.
Kam gets hurt the day before, 2 days before the Super Bowl. How did that change? Yeah, how did that change the vibe
It didn't.
of things going into the game.
It didn't, honestly. And I'll tell you this. I don't know if Cam remembers, but we were walking to practice, right? I think it was the third day we were there. We were walking to practice, and I don't know what it was, but we were just walking, and I seen Cam, and I'm walking next to him. We're talking. I'm like, bro, I just want to let you know, bro, I got your back. Like, I got your back, bro. No matter what goes on in this game, I got your back. And that's, honestly, he looked at me like, yeah, okay. And then, you know, he kind of like kept going on with his conversation with B Wags, but then he looked back at me again. He was like, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And we dapped it up, and then we kept it going and went on to practice. And that was my first time meeting Snoop Dogg. He came out to practice, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, I like this place. I like this. I like feeling like a winner.
Yeah.
And, you know, honestly, like I said, nothing really changed after his little minor injury, but because we had so many people out there that was ready to play, ready to step up, and we had this thing, you know, it was a brotherhood, and I know that, you know, that word is, you know, loosely thrown around in the NFL, but honestly, that was probably one of the times in my whole career, I'm talking about from little Pop Warner all the way up to now, that was probably one of the teams that I actually really felt like it was a brotherhood. And we still keep in contact still to this day.
Okay, so you get a few minutes into the game. You get a quarter into the game. You get a half into the game. You realize you're not going to be able to finish with the guys you started with. What was the message at halftime of the Super Bowl?
Keep going. No matter what, we got to figure out how to win. And that was the biggest thing that was going on in our group as wide receivers. We were all just like, hey, got to find a way. The job's not over with. You know, it felt good to find a way, right? Because we were making our head after that second half, and you know, unfortunately, things didn't fall in our way. But to be honest with you, I don't think anybody in the locker room on the offensive side held their heads down. I truly believe that. I feel like we all felt like we gave it all we had, and, you know, the ball just didn't swing our way at that time.
We're going to talk about that last drive in just a second. But right now, this NFL season, feel every play, every hit, every moment with Sony 1000 XM5 noise-canceling headphones, the official headphones of the Seattle Seahawks. With premium noise cancellation, you are in the zone. No distractions, just pure football. Whether you are in your living room or on the go, you will never miss a beat with Sony headphones. So I was talking to Justin Britt, and he said, final series, break the huddle. You have no doubt that you're going to score.
Yeah.
Didn't matter which play, and he did not reveal what the actual play call was. He just said, we're going to score. So what happens on that final play?
To be honest with you, I really don't know. I know the play by heart, but if nobody is telling it, I won't tell it. But I was on the sideline, and we had practiced that play, I want to say, since week 4. We've been running that play since week 4. It was just different ways we ran it. So once I heard it, I was like, okay, like we can get this done. We've pretty much went 80% with that play. So
in practice, you've gone 80% with that play.
In practice,
yes. Okay.
Yes. So it was like, okay, you know, I can see where we're going, right? Unfortunately, you know, they made a play. Malcolm Butler, you know, he did what he was supposed to. He did what he was supposed to do, and you know, things just happened. But I would say this: if it wasn't for the hard work that everybody put in, I don't even think we would have even made it to that point. We wouldn't even had a chance to get to that point. And that's where a lot of people don't understand. Like, I hear all the time, people are always talking, why did you throw the ball on the 1 yard line? Why didn't you just give it to Marshawn Lynch? And I'm like, yeah, I understand, but what would you do in the Super Bowl on the 1 yard line and the clock is running down? You know, everything is going on and everything is going crazy. Like, it was a lot going on. So, you know, everybody can coach from the sideline or, you know, from their home. right? But what would you do when you're actually in the game? And I feel like we executed as best as we could right there. That's what I would say.
I have said many times, had that completion been the completion, it would have been the greatest play call in the history of the Super Bowl.
And Pete Carroll would have looked like a genius. And he still is a genius in my eyes.
He still is a genius.
He still is a genius.
Yeah.
So I tip my hat to that man. He gave me opportunity. He's done so much for me, and I wish nothing but the best for him down there in Las Vegas.
So when you think about the story of your career, what's the one that you tell most often about your time in Seattle?
I would say, to be honest with you, and it's probably not going to be as glamorous or, surprising, but it was when I first got there. When I first got there, I want to say it was Marshawn and BJ Daniels and Doug Baldwin and Jermaine. Those are the four guys that came up to me and they were like, hey, don't come out here. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if we can curse. But
No, we can do that. No, totally. We can do that. Yeah.
don't come out here playing around. Like, give it your all. And that guy right there, that was my guy right there. That's my guy right there, Sydney. But they were extremely helpful, right, in their own way. And I would say my most memorable moment is us all being able to sit down and talk amongst each other like men and be able to, bounce ideas off of each other. Because that's one thing that we all did together. We bounced ideas off of each other like, hey, if we run this play, what do you think if I was, hit the line this way? And there was things, Marshawn and Doug Baldwin and all of us were totally two different positions. But somehow, some way, we found a way to make it work. We just communicated, and like I said again, that brotherhood that I was talking about, it really stuck home for me. And I can't think of anything more important, more impactful than that time right there when I first got into Seattle.
I love that conversation. I love the insight because I have my own memories. That's not what today is about. Today is about sharing one of the stories from 50 seasons of Seahawks football.
Absolutely.
Chris Matthews, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll see you next time.